nearlydanish.com.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Yes, Houston, I'm going to add those ones as well. All right. So if you're here for the first time, and some of you might have come from meetup.com, some of you from somewhere else. But if you're here for the first time and you missed the previous sessions, there is a YouTube channel where you can go and watch all the previous sessions that we've done. So it's called Nearly Danish TV on YouTube. So just go to YouTube, search Nearly Danish TV, and go to the playlist section. And there's a playlist under, there's a playlist called Infosat Pond Kahoot Sessions Winter 2023. This is an old picture, so yeah, I'll update it. I have to update this. But there's a Winter 2023 session, and that has all the sessions that you've missed. If this is your first time, I would recommend that you actually go and watch those videos, because I do discuss some important tips and tricks, and also how to approach the test. And also I did an analysis of one of the sessions on how the test is put together. And that's actually very important. So if you haven't seen that, please have a look at that. What else was I about to say? Can't remember. All right. Yeah, let's move on. So we're starting. Today we're doing a mock test. Okay? So this is a simulation of a test. This is a slightly hard version. So I've kind of tried to make the proportion of new questions and frequently asked questions half and half. And of course, there is a whole new current affairs question section that's based on the current affairs, as in that happened in the last 6 months, and some Danish values as well. So let's get that ball rolling. Next one. You've seen this before. All right, so majority of you have gotten this information into your heads. 4 of you haven't. There are 5 regions in Denmark. This is a frequently asked question. So this is one of the questions that you definitely need to know the answer to. All right, moving on to the next one. Also FAQ. All right. So 6 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. This is also an FAQ.
Now you know what you don't know.
All right, so it's a complete top 5 reshuffle. Next one. This is a new question. All right, so I can see majority of you don't have the answer to this. The way to get the answer to this is to practice on the website, okay? On the website, there are questions that are marked with potential new question. And there's also questions that are marked with has appeared in X amount of tests. And if you go to nearlydanish.com, most of you have heard this before, but for the people that haven't, go to nearlydanish.com, click on quizzes. There's quizzes chapter by chapter that cover the whole book. And there's questions for every subsection and every section in each chapter. So if you manage to go through all these quizzes from start to finish several times over, score 80 to 100% each time, you're going to pass the test. All right, so we're moving on to the next one. Steph is holding number one. 28 players have reached an answer streak of 3.
Excellent.
Next one. All right, so 1848. The year before the Constitution was signed, the king decided to scrap the absolute monarchy system. All right, so 20 people got this wrong. This is a new question. I think, has it shown up before? I don't think so. But anyways, now you know what you don't know.
Now you know what you don't know.
That's a weak spot. So I can see almost half of you have not been practicing on the website. I'll repeat this, okay? So it's not enough to come to these Kahoots, okay? Or it's not enough to just come to the Kahoots. You have to do the Kahoots so you figure out your knowledge gaps like you're figuring out right now. You have to practice on the website religiously until you're scoring 80 to 100% on every single one of those quizzes. Okay? And if you do that, you have a very high chance of passing. All right, moving on to the next one. All right, so we're not at number 5 yet. Let's move on. We've seen this before. All right, so Christian IV is responsible for a lot of the famous buildings in Denmark. This is a frequently asked question. All right, so at the moment we have Trajan at number 1. And actually, I see Trajan on a daily basis, very active in the group. He's doing all the daily quizzes. So big ups to you, man. Round of applause. We've got Krish at number 2, Abdullah at number 3. Abdullah, I think, is in the top 10. I'm not sure. Top 10 of all players. Titan at number 4. And Houston at number 5. Houston is also very active. 17 players have reached an answer streak of 5.
Great job.
All right, next one. We've seen this before. It's a frequently asked question. All right, round of applause. Only 4 people got this wrong, so
Now you know what you don't know.
plug that knowledge gap. Don't feel bad if you're not doing well. These sessions are just to highlight the knowledge gaps that you have. I showed you the websites already, so all the questions that you're failing are gonna show up on your profile, and then you can practice there to plug up those knowledge gaps. All right, 16 players just hit an answer streak of 6.
Great job.
Next one. All right, you guys are doing well. We saw this in the last Kahoots. All right, Abdullah has fallen out of the top 5. 6 players reached an answer streak of 4.
Excellent.
Next one. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
This is a new question. Okay, so more than half of you got this wrong. The Supreme Court in Denmark has existed since 1661. I think this was the year that 1660 was the year that the absolute monarchy started. It's either 60 or 61, I can't remember. But you can connect that date with this. How many people got this wrong? 33. Sorry, guys. But as usual,
Now you know what you don't know.
all right, next one. Okay, so this is a top 5 reshuffle. Trajan still holding number 1, and he actually scored points. This guy has been putting in work. I know for sure, because I see him every single day. So please, we have I think, how many days to the test do we have? We have about 66 days, 65 days, something like that. Yeah. So we're slowly running out of time. Okay? 2 weeks is enough to get ready for the test. So that's 14 straight days. But that's 14 days of very intense practice. And you will be ready for this test. So 66 days is way more than enough time. And we started almost exactly a month ago. So there really isn't any excuse to fail, you know? So just put in the work and get what you need. 3 players just hit an answer streak of 4.
Great job.
Next one. Also a new question. Right. 14 people got this wrong. Well, for the 14 people that got this wrong, now you know what you don't know. Plug that knowledge gap. It will show up on your profile. And this is the reason why I say keep using the same name so that you can track your progress. Moving on to the next one. Okay, static top 5.
Static top 5.
3 players reached an answer streak of 5. We're moving on. We have 36 questions to go. Everyone should know this. Okay, 14 people got this wrong. So in the collective bargaining, there are 2 parties that represent the interests of the employers, and the other one represents the interest of the employees. FH represents the interest of the employees, and DA represents the interest of the employers. This is a frequently asked question. In this case, they're asking specifically about the organization. Well, 14 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. We're moving on to the next one. It's static top 5.
Static top 5.
3 in a row. Sama is back in the game.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Okay, we have about 35 questions to go. You've seen this before. All right, almost perfect. Only 2 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Plug that knowledge gap. Static top 5.
Static top 5.
3 players reached an answer streak of 8.
Great job.
Next one.
Uh-oh.
Let's see how you guys doing this. I'm not sure. Is this a new question? I don't know. Let's see. All right, so it's probably a new question. That's why more than half of you got this wrong. This is from chapter 5. And remember what I said the last time. A lot of the new questions actually come from that chapter. The chapter, wait, is it chapter 5? Yeah, chapter 5 is the one full of, Danish culture, literature, music, movies, directors, all that kind of stuff, right? And it has so much information, people's names, what the work they did, the year they were published, the year those movies were released, the year this director won what Oscar, blah, 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 all that stuff. And you have to know all that because a lot of the time new questions come from there. So I would highly recommend that you make a list of all those names and all their accolades and the dates. Try to get that in your head. The quickest way that I know of to get that stuff in your head is to do the quizzes. There are quizzes on the website, nearlydanish.com, that cover that whole chapter and all the information in it. What was I about to say? Oh, yes. So, the section with the most new information in the new book is chapter 6. And there's a whole new section on Denmark's tourist attractions. There's definitely going to be 1 or 2 new questions from there. So go to the website. I have created new questions from that section that cover all that information. Go there and practice, okay? And please, if you can read that book, read it. I highly recommend. I know it's terribly boring and dry, but read it if you can. All right, on to the next one. Ceci fell out. Lily came in. Steph also came in. This was a combo breaker. Sorry, guys. All right, it's Treyan, Krish, Houston, Lily, and Steph. I can see 2 dedicated players, Treyan and Houston. Krish is a staple in the top 5. Round of applause to you guys, man. Next one. Yeah, this is one of the most frequently asked questions. Wow. Wow. Almost 100%. Okay, so it looks like the work we've been doing on FAQs is sticking. 3 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Plug that knowledge gap. It will show up on your profile. 7 players just hit an answer streak of 5.
Excellent.
We have a static top 5.
Static top 5.
On to the next one. You've seen this before. Hopefully you all get this right. Wow. Wow. Yes, man.
Perfect score.
Okay, this is good. Next one. Static top 5.
Static top 5.
You've seen this before. Wow. 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 applause.
Perfect score.
Does this deserve an explosion? Nah, not yet. All right, someone is asking, can you send me the link to the Kahoot where we can practice our mistakes? I will show you that link. It's just a list of names. Search the name that you use in the Kahoots. This is the reason why I say use the same name for every Kahoot, because that's how I'm actually tracking your participation in these Kahoots. I'll show you that link at the end of the session. All right, we've got a static top 5.
Static top 5.
All right, thank you, RK, for sharing that. Krish is on fire, 15 correct answers in a row. That's a perfect score.
Perfect score.
Oh my! He's on fire!
We've got 30 questions to go. Wumi, RK shared the link, so click on that when you have the time, not now though. This is a new question. All right, 19 people got this wrong. Not bad. Round of applause. For the rest of you, it will show up in your profile. Static top 5 yet again.
Static top 5.
Trayan is holding that number 1 spot tight. He's leading by over 200 points. We've got Krish, Houston, Lily, and Steph. Nobody is budging. SJPD is back on an answer streak of 3.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. You've seen this before. All right, round of applause. So you guys are doing really well in this. 14 players reached an answer streak of 5. We still have a way to go though. Yeah, you've seen this before as well. FAQ. Wow. Wow.
Perfect score.
Okay, you guys really have these FAQs on lock. Round of applause. Okay, we are almost halfway through. Actually, nah. Okay, so Houston is on fire. Houston has a perfect score, but Houston is not number 1, so he doesn't get an explosion, and we're not past the halfway mark, but he gets this though.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Perfect score.
Well done. You guys are doing really well. I'm happy about this. We've been practicing for a month now. You've seen this before as well. Oh no, this is a new question. New question. Let's see how you guys do on this. Okay, not too bad. I actually thought more of you would get this wrong. Only 19 people got this wrong. It was Hans Towson. Okay, so Houston, Trayan lost his number 1 spot. Krish took his number 1 spot from him. Krish is leading by over 200 points. Houston is now at number 2. Lily is on the podium at number 3. Trayan fell to number 4, and Steph is, well, holding number 5. Gush is back in the game with 3 in a row. Is it a guy or a girl? I'm not sure.
Excellent.
Okay, we have 26 questions to go. Yeah, I've seen this before. It's part of the FAQs. So remember what I said. The exam is a mixture of new questions and FAQs. That's it. The history part of the test, okay? This is an FAQ. So Oh, okay, so let me see if I can explain it for the new people here. FAQs are frequently asked questions. What does that mean? It means a question that has shown up at least twice or more in all the previous tests. This test started from 2009 and it's been going to date. And some of the questions repeat themselves every year. Well, not every year, but they repeat themselves. And I've done an analysis of basically all the questions, and I've figured out what questions show up all the time. And from looking at all the previous tests, I actually saw that it's basically a mixture of FAQs and new questions. And depending on how hard the government wants the test to be, they increase the number of new questions or reduce the number of new questions. So the easiest exams are generally the ones with the most FAQs, meaning that if you just practice with the previous tests, you would pass. However, the next test I'm predicting is going to be actually one of the most difficult, but I'm always looking at the worst case scenario. So take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt. I predicted the worst case scenario the last time, and it was actually a super simple test. So yeah, that's it. Enough talk. Let's move on. Next one. Okay, someone is asking why I think that. Because the book has changed and there's a lot of new information, and they're not going to add a whole bunch of new information and not ask questions about that. Okay, so Chris, Houston, Lily, Trayan, and Steph, it's static top 5.
Static top 5.
Maria is the highest climber, up 3 places. Next one. You know the answer to this. This is an FAQ. Okay, everyone got this wrong except one person. Now you know what you don't know. Round of applause for you guys.
Static top 5.
And like I said before, I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a broken record, but I'm seeing that it's working. You guys have improved quite dramatically since we started practicing. And we've only been doing this for a month. We have 2 months to go. So if you put in the work, I hope you've seen your improvements. If you put in the work, there's no way you're going to fail this test. There's no reason to be afraid of this test. It's not rocket science. It's just, names and dates and whatever else. All right. 5 players just hit an answer streak of 5.
Great job.
Next one. You've seen this before. Okay, 5 people got this wrong. You can start working at the age of 13. 5 people got this wrong. This is an FAQ, so plug this knowledge gap. Houston is on fire, highest answer streak of 22, so that's a perfect score.
Perfect score.
Oh my! He's on fire!
It's a static top 5.
Static top 5.
Next one. This is the most frequently asked question. So if there's any question you need to know the answer to, it's this one. And if you all get this right, it's an explosion, because that means that it's stuck. But let's see. Okay, 9 of you. For 9 of you, this hasn't stuck. So women got the right to vote in 1915. This is the question that has the highest likelihood of showing up on the next test. So you definitely need to know the answer to this. On to the next one. Static top 5. Also FAQ. All right, 8 people got this wrong. Well, practice this. It will show up on your profile. I'm not doing a lot of explanation now because this is a mock test, so we're just trying to find out what people don't know. Moving on to the next one. This is a new question, so it's never shown up before. Okay. 14 people got this wrong. It's the party's members that decide who becomes a candidate in the elections. Moving on to the next one. That's a new question. This is static top 5. Not much is going on here. We have 20 questions to go. Let's get through this quickly. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
74. What was this about? I think this is a new question. I can't even remember, man. Okay, so you guys got this right. Round of applause. Okay. Not much is going on in this top 5, eh? T-Rubs is making a comeback with 3 in a row.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. Okay, this is new. All right. 20 people got this wrong. I'm not surprised. This is a new question. Okay, I feel I need to mention this. Let's go here. So, new questions. Okay. If you go to the website and you go chapter by chapter, you can see chapter 1 all the way to chapter 6. The new questions, when I say new question, I mean questions that are marked with this potential new question, right? And there are some questions that have something that says, you know, has appeared in, say, 5 previous tests or something like that. So these are all the new questions, and obviously there's more potential new questions than previous questions. Okay, so just put in the work on the site and you'll have these covered. If you have all the new questions covered and you have all the frequently asked questions covered, you will pass the test. Okay, all right, let's move on. For the people that got this wrong, this will show up on your profile. Next one. Static top 5.
Static top 5.
So we're looking at the elite players. We've got Chris, Houston, Lily, Trayan, and Steph. Bear is making a comeback with 3 in a row.
Great job!
Right, next one. You've seen this before. Wow, almost perfect. I was hoping to give an explosion, but that didn't happen. Okay, so Trayan is back on the move now at number 3 on the podium. Lily fell to number 4. Benjer is back in the game with 3 in a row.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I think this is a new question. Yes, it is a new question. All right, so wow, okay.
Wow!
Yeah, so the Matador series is actually one of Denmark's most popular TV series, and there's 24 episodes. 8 people got this wrong. 9 you don't know. It will show up on your profile. So you're going to see it again, definitely. 3 players just hit an answer streak of 21. Wow. Round of applause. You've seen this before as well. All right, so more than half of you got this wrong. This is definitely a weak spot. So when the Germans came and occupied Denmark in 1940, I think it was the 3rd of April or 5th of April, can't remember. They made a deal with the Danish government that they would work in partnership with them. However, that deal was abandoned when the Germans were requiring a death penalty for people that were involved in sabotage, and the Danish government refused to partake in that. And basically, the government resigned. So the prime minister and all, I think it was a he, yeah, all his ministers. Of course, it was a he. The first female prime minister is 2011. Can't remember who it was exactly, but they all resigned, and they left the country's runnings in the hands of the department chiefs. And that's the department chiefs of the ministries at the time. So 33 of you got this wrong. This is a new question. Hopefully it doesn't show up. But even if it does show up, now you know what you don't know.
Now you know what you don't know.
Right, next one. Okay, so Olga is back in the game with an answer streak of 3.
She's on fire.
Steph is on the move now at number 4. Lily fell to number 5. We are coming to the end of the history section. I think there's 3 questions left or something like that. You've seen this before. All right, round of applause. This is a frequently asked question, so 11 people got this wrong. You should know this by now. Houston, did you get this wrong? I'm surprised. Anyways, Krish Tran is almost back at number 1. Okay, so we've got Krish, Tran, Steph, Lily, and Houston fell all the way to number 5. Amelia is the highest climber, up 3 places.
Excellent.
You win.
All right, moving on to the next one. This is a new one. I've actually forgotten the answer to this. Okay, just the highlights. When it's basically at the test, okay? Read the question slowly, and then read the answers slowly, and then go ahead and answer. In the Kahoots, you do get points for, speed and whatnot. And in the Kahoots, you only have 20 seconds per question. I've done this deliberately to put you guys under a bit more pressure than you will feel at the exam, so that you feel the exam is actually easier. We do these sessions twice a week, so this is some kind of, it's like conditioning. So when I'm going to use the metaphor of a boxer, okay? So before a boxing match, the boxer goes into training camp for about 12 weeks. So that's about, I think, 3 months. And that's exactly what we do. This is training camp, okay? And here we do your conditioning. We get your mind right. We get your body right. We get everything right. And then you go to the fight. And hopefully you win. And this is also where we fix your mistakes. Okay, this is a simulated environment where you can make your mistakes, fix your mistakes. So when you're in there, you can win. So read the question slowly. Relax when you're in the test. Read the question slowly, read the answer slowly, and then go ahead and answer. For the people that got this wrong, now you know what you don't know. This will show up in your profile. On to the next one. Okay, so at this point, I don't think anyone is going to catch Krish. Actually, maybe if he makes a mistake. Jimmy is the highest climber, up 7 places. Where is that sound? Got rid of it. All right, next one. Wumi, you can't find your name on the list because you're not in the top 5. Wait, you mean the list on the website? Okay, anyways, let's talk about that after the session. Okay, so yes, so this is a new question. I can see almost half of you got this wrong. Well, now you know what you don't know. The Volkerhuiskolonner were founded in 1844. So when was Groenlo? It was 1849, right? So 5 years before Groenlo. All right, on to the next one. Someone fell out. Was it Houston? Anyways, he's out. Nyla is in. MN is back in the game with 3 in a row.
Excellent.
Next one. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
This is chapter 5. All right. Almost exactly half of you got this wrong. Round of applause to the people that got this right. Apparently, everyone in the top 5 got this right. Round of applause to you guys, man. This was a combo breaker. 3 players lost the answer streak of 3. I think we're going to the last history question. And then we're moving to current affairs. I think this might be a new question. I'm not sure. Wumi, what's your name? What's the name that you use in the Kahoot? Type it in the chat. Yeah, your name is there. I've seen your name on the list. I'll show you. Okay, so 24 people got this wrong. I think the name of the Thomas Lake. So I think that's the bloodline or something. The Oldenburgs. How many people got this? 24 people got this wrong. Now you know what you've done. It's going to show up in your profile. Okay, so let's have a look at that top 5. Static top 5.
Static top 5.
Okay, so we have Krish, Trayan, Steph, Livy, and Nyla. Kirby9 is making a comeback with 3 in a row. Kirby9, by the way, is in the top 10 of all time. So round of applause to Kirby9. And that's if I'm not mistaken, but I've seen this name a lot. Okay, we're moving to the last 10 questions. 5 of them are current affairs, and the other 5 are Danish values. I hope I actually updated this, but anyways, let's see. If not, bear with me. Okay, yes. The theme of this is political parties and their leaders. We practiced this last week. Okay, so She is the leader of the Socialist People's Party. How many people got this wrong? 13 people got this wrong. Plug that knowledge gap. It's already on the site. Okay. All of this, I think, is already on the site. If not, I'll be putting it up. Static top 5. Lily has a streak with 36 correct answers in a row. That's 100%. Round of applause. All right.
Perfect score.
I think Lily is also in the top 20 of all time. I'm not sure. I have to check that list again. All right, we're moving on to the next one. All right, current affairs. I have a strong feeling this is gonna show up in the test. These current affairs, I'm going to be putting them up. Okay, I'm gonna put them up this week. This question is about UNESCO's heritage list, and recently, I think it was 5 Danish ring castles or something have been added to that list. So it's a major thing, and I have a strong feeling this is actually going to show up in the test. But you know, I'm not the holy grail of any of this, but this is my intuition that this is going to show up. For the people that got this wrong, now you know what you don't know. Keep that in mind. Moving on to the next one. Okay, so this top 5 is looking a bit different. Chris is still holding number 1. Steph moved up to number 2. Wow. Trayan now number 3. Peanut at number 4. Peanut is also, I've seen this name a lot, maybe top 20. I'm not sure, man. Then we have Lily at number 5. Houston is back with an answer streak of 3, and he's on fire.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next week, what am I saying? Next one. All right, so Victor Axelsen won the China Open and the Japan Open. The theme of this question is Danish sports people doing well on the world stage. He has shown up, Victor Axelsen has actually shown up in current affairs when he won the gold medal in badminton in the last Olympics. And the previous one was the question about the UNESCO heritage list is also kind of a similar theme. Something in Denmark doing really well on the world stage. Right, so I think we've done 3 so far. Moving on to the next one. Okay, so Trayan is fighting right back. Move back to number 2. 3 players reach an answer streak of 3.
Excellent.
Next one. Let's see. So the theme of this is the royal family. Some kind of major event in the royal family. And recently, Queen Margaret just became, she took over the record of the longest sitting monarch in Denmark. Christian IV held that record, but now she is the longest sitting monarch in Denmark. Okay, 13 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Next one. Trayan is back at number 1. Round of applause, man. And he's leading by almost 400 points. So unless something happens, I think he might stay there. If he messes up, then he's going to lose that spot. We've got Trayan, Krish, Peanut, top 3. Steph, number 4. Lily, number 5. Lilia is back in the game 3 in a row, and she's on fire.
She's on fire!
How many questions do we have left? 41. Okay, yes. So these are Danish values, I think. Oh, no. This is the last. the last current affairs question. So the theme of this is the government. We've practiced this already. All right, so I can see our practice sessions have worked. Round of applause. Only 6 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know, plug that knowledge gap. We practiced the government and political parties and the leaders last week. It's on YouTube, you can have a look. And if you were here and you failed any of those things, it will show up in your profile. All right. So currently we have Trey and Krish, Peanut, Steph, Livy. It's a static top 5.
Static top 5.
Tess is making a comeback with 3 in a row.
Great job.
We have 5 last questions are Danish values questions. And bear in mind that you have to score at least 4 of these correct to pass the test. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you get 100% in current affairs and history. If you get 2 of these wrong, you fail the test. All right, next one. Yes, the mock test is on the website, except the current affairs part. I will be updating that. Read the question slowly, okay? I know this is a Kahoot and you get points for speed, but please read the question slowly. Accuracy matters more than speed in the test. Okay, this is not bad. Round of applause. Peanut has an answer streak of 14 correct answers in a row.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. All right. And bear in mind, these Danish values questions are pretty, common sense questions. It's always yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. And it's, kind of no-brainers. So I don't actually, well, okay. I see a reason why some people fail it, but you shouldn't. They're simple and straightforward, except when they throw in some confusing Danish words there, which they've done in the last 2 tests. All right, only 4 people got this wrong. Now you know what you don't know. Next one, static top 5. Grand Coupe is making a comeback with 3 in a row.
Excellent.
We've got 3 questions to go. Exactly. DRS, you're right. Hopefully it's not the same 4 people that keep failing these. Anyways, if you got this wrong, it will show up on your profile, so you can practice that. Tran was number 1 for a while, fell out. I think he fell all the way down to number 5, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's back at number 1. That's a great comeback, man. Round of applause.
Excellent.
You win!
Aish is back in the game with 3 in a row.
She's on fire!
We've got 2 questions left and then we're done with this. You've seen this before. And by the way, the Danish values questions have started repeating themselves. All right, only 5 people got this wrong. Round of applause to you guys. I got it right. All right, last question. All right, we have Tran, Krish, Peanut, Steph, and Lily. Test is back in the game with 3 in a row. All right, last question. Okay. Right, that was the last question. Let's see what that podium is looking like. Hang in there so we can actually look at the results of this. You need 80% to pass. And you also need 4 of the last 5 questions. This is going on the website hopefully by tomorrow, and you'll be able to have a look at your results. Let's have a look at the podium. So Peanuts at number 3, Krish at number 2, and Train at number 1. I think. Yes. Okay, Steph and Lily, 4 and 5.
NearlyDanish.com.